Without a doubt, Glen Plake is the most recognizable skier in the world. He's made appearances on countless television shows, appeared in some of the most iconic ski movies, and he's been on the cover of countless magazines. He's even popped up in a few subway stations. Wherever and whenever you see this parrot-colored Mohawk, fun is sure to follow. This California kid, born in Livermore, was just 2 when his mom put him on skis, and he's been playing in the snow ever since. Growing up on the slopes of Heavenly Valley, his heroes were the hot doggers, and it's no secret he punched his ticket to that bad boy scene too. A free spirit, he honed his skills on the race course and learned his lines in the mogul field, even spent some time on the U.S. Moguls team. But Glen admits he wasn't cut for FIS fame. He resisted the national team regimen and jokes that in defiance his trademark hairdo was born. More than most mountain towns, the hard-living, gambling streets of South Lake Tahoe tolerate rebels, and his Mohawk made for a fitting crown for a 3-time world hot dog champion. The 80s were a time when freestyle skiing was blazing a path, and Glen was ramping up on the momentum. Searching new terrain to test his tricks, his real passion for skiing and his chance at becoming a, quote, pro skier came through the camera. Greg Stump took a chance, including the 21-year-old, in his 1986 film, The Maltese Flamingo, and the rest is history. In 1988 came Blizzard of Oz, the classic movie that changed the lives of so many free skiers, including Steep and Deep pioneer Shane McConkey.
I was at my high school living room, and that movie had a real big impact on me, just like it did for everybody else my age.
On that very shoot, Glen fell in love with France, and in particular, the high alpine lifestyle of Chamonix, where he still has a home. From the chutes of Europe's highest mountain, Mont Blanc, Glen continues to be challenged by some of the highest peaks in the Andes and the Himalayas, climbing with legend Remy Lecluse as high as 22,000 feet in India just to get those precious first tracks. According to Glen, skiing 50-degree slopes at 20,000 feet is a game where rules have not changed. Without a doubt, this evangelist lives and breathes skiing every day of his life, and not just at the posh destination resorts. For Glen, he's just as inspired roaming off the beaten path. He starts his winter in Chamonix, building legs and lungs on thousands of feet of vertical. Come March, he returns stateside to get on the road and carve, not only on the big mountains, but also on the smaller resorts that might only offer up a few hundred feet of vertical. Glen and his wife Kimberly don't mind. They chalk it up to their own Down Home Tour mission. An annual road trip that started in 1991 on their honeymoon when they set out in a camper van and traveled 13,000 miles through 33 states, skiing 50 resorts in 68 days. From the lift line at these feeder areas, this Pied Piper and his partner learn what skiers and snowboarders need and want. Most often, the lessons come from the kids, a magnet to Glen's Mohawk, an audience he recognizes represents the future of snow sports. What he gleans goes to manufacturers like Elan and Del Bello, where he works to continually refine equipment. Although there are some days and some conditions where the straight skis come out and Glen rips up a line for ski history's sake.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Real Thrills. We're at Mountain Snow.
Glen still uses the camera as a tool to preach the gospel. Since 1999, he's hosted RSN's Real Thrills TV show. For his zeal to keep it real, Glen Plake has been named one of the top 10 most influential skiers of all time. He's wild, he's worldly, and he keeps us connected. Like no other icon of our sport, Glen's passion bridges all cultures, from the wide-eyed beginners making stiff turns in rental gear to the fearless veterans ducking out of helicopters to lay a line in the Chugach. They relate and listen to this ambassador because he so freely shares his joy. And now, for his lifetime labor of love to our sport, Glen Plake will forever be honored at the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame.